Hi everyone. So today's our topic is spinal nerves. Okay. So we are representing the spinal nerves for a good understanding. We are taking a person. Okay. So here you can see there is a man standing. So this is the front side of the person and this is the back side of the person. Okay, the front side is considered as the ventral side and the back side is considered as the dorsal side. So here you can see a long column, right, which we have considered as spinal cord. So the spinal cord is the long column of bone. Okay, long spinal cord is not a bone, sorry. The spinal cord is a long column which starts from the neck and extends up to the abdomen region, and it is present at the center of our body. It is known as the central nervous system, okay, in connection with the brain. Okay, so when we go for the transversation of the spinal cord, we have two parts. Okay, one is the ventral, the front portion, and the dorsal, the back portion. Okay, so the front portion, the spinal cord which is seen in the front side, okay, that is the chest region. Okay, so the front side which has been seen is the ventral side, and whereas the dorsal is the back side. So this spinal cord is a spongy tissue, it is very soft. Okay, so to protect it we need a bony structure. For the protection of the spinal cord, we need a bony structure which is known as vertebral column. Okay, inside the vertebral column, we have the spinal cord. Okay, so when we consider this vertebral column, each bone, there are so many bones inside this, right? So each bone is known as vertebra. Okay, each bone is known as the vertebra. So the center hollow space is known as the vertebral foramen. So inside this space we have the spinal cord. Okay, the soft tissue is been present inside this hollow space covered by the vertebra. So all these single vertebrae combinedly form the vertebral column. Okay, all these combinedly form the vertebral column. So all together the vertebrae form a hollow tube like structure which is known as the vertebral column or the canal. So see, here bones are being attached one by one, right? So inside we are having a canal like structure. Here see the hollow space through which the spinal cord can be attached inside, right? It can be placed inside. So this hollow structure is known as the canal or the spinal canal, vertebral canal or the column. So inside this we have the spinal cord attached. Okay, so here we can see there are spaces. So between between two vertebra, okay, vertebral bones, we have spaces. Okay, so these spaces are known as intervertebral foramens. So these are known as intervertebral foramen. Okay, what are these known as? Intervertebral foramens. Inter means in between, vertebral, in between two vertebrae. Okay, two vertebrae there is a space, so that is known as intervertebral foramens, through which we have the what we say nerves, spinal nerves coming out from each each space. We have the spinal nerves coming out. See, you can see here, right? So from this the spinal nerves comes out. So that is the and also you can know that intervertebral foramen is the space between the two vertebrae, and this one is the hollow space of a single vertebra, that is vertebral foramen. Okay, next. So as you can see here, this is the single vertebra inside which we can see the spinal cord being attached, and this is the cavity or column. This is, so you can see in this position also the spinal cord is been attached. So here we have the grooves, okay, or notches that are known as vertebral grooves or vertebral notch, through which the spinal nerves emerge out, comes out, okay. That is the vertebral notch or vertebral grooves, okay. So now we will see, we already told you that from the dorsal side and ventral side nerves are coming out, okay. Those are known as bundles of nerve, okay, nerve tissues, okay, bundles of nerve tissues. So from both sides we get, as these are in pairs, okay. So during the morning session I have forgot to tell you, there are about 31 pairs of spinal nerves, okay, 31 pairs of spinal nerves. So from the dorsal side, dorsal root emerges. From the ventral side, ventral root emerges. Both together fuse with each other and forms the spinal nerve. And again they are branched into two, that is the ventral rhamnus and the dorsal rhamnus. Ventral rhamnus spreads its nerves through the front side, okay, ventral side, whereas the dorsal rhamnus spreads its nerves to the dorsal side, that is the back side of the body, okay. So I have told you regarding this, that is the right side, and it is same as that of the left side, okay. So the dorsal root gives the dorsal root, the dorsal side gives the dorsal root, spinal nerve and the dorsal rhamnus. Ventral gives the ventral root, the spinal nerves and the ventral rhamnus. So the right side is same that of the left side, okay. The dorsal side is for the back side and the ventral side is that of for the front side. That's it, okay. Next, so these nerves which emerges out, okay, there are some nerves which comes above the notch or groove, or some are below the, see here, below the notch or groove, okay. So this is the vertebral column. The vertebral column is been divided into neck region, okay, neck region, thoracic region, abdomen region, okay, and the pelvis region, right. So they are being divided into these categories. The vertebrae of the neck is known as the cervical vertebrae. The vertebrae of the thoracic region is known as the thoracic vertebrae. The abdomen region is known as the lumbar vertebrae, and whereas the pelvis region is known as the sacral and coccygeal vertebrae, okay. Now we are seeing about the nerves. So the nerves which emerge out of this neck region are the cervical nerves, okay, cervical nerves. Which comes out of the thoracic region are the thoracic nerves, okay. Which comes out of the abdomen are the lumbar nerves. Which comes out of the pelvis region are the sacral and coccygeal nerves. The cervical nerves are 8 in pair, the thoracic are 12 in pair, the lumbar are 5 in pair, the sacral are 5 in pair which are fused, whereas coccygeal, I am talking about the vertebrae now, okay. The cervical vertebrae are 7, the thoracic vertebrae are 12, the lumbar vertebrae are 5, the sacral vertebrae are 5 which are fused, the coccygeal vertebrae are 4 which are fused. Coming to the nerves, the cervical vertebrae has 8 nerves, the thoracic vertebrae has 12 pairs of nerves, okay, all are in pairs, okay, 12 pairs of nerves. The lumbar region has lumbar nerves which are of 5 pairs. The sacral has the vertebrae are 5 fused in fused form, but the sacral nerves are individual, that are 5. The coccygeal has 4 fused bones, but it has only one pair, okay, only one pair of nerve, okay, one pair of nerve. So next, So as already mentioned, this is the vertebral column containing cervical 7 vertebrae, thoracic 12 vertebrae, lumbar 5 vertebrae, sacrum 5 fused vertebrae, and coccyx 4 fused vertebrae. Okay, sacrum, coccyx. Next, so this is the dorsal, this is the ventral, this is the dorsal, this is the ventral. Okay, so these are the veins, these are the nerves which are emerging out of the column. See here. Okay, these all are the nerves. So when we consider this all nerves are both sensory and motor. Okay, they function as both sensory and motor, but the main thing is when we consider this C1, okay, C1 nerve is there, C1 nerve is above, so it is in this form, above the notch, right? And C2 above the notch. So same thing goes on, but when we consider the C7, when we come here, okay, so this has both the above nerve and the below nerve. Okay, so 8th nerve is the C7 is associated with both the 7th nerve and the 8th nerve. So it has the both above nerve and the below nerve. So the 8th nerve is the nerve which is below the groove. Okay, which is below the groove. So 8th cranial nerve is the nerve which is below the groove, and it is also said that 8th nerve is associated with T1. Okay, so when we consider T1, it is above the groove. Okay, above the notch. But generally it is said C8 is the only nerve of the cervical region or the cervical nerves which is below. Okay, below the notch. Okay, next, remaining thoracic, lumbar, sacrum, coccyx, all these nerves are below the notch. Okay, or below the vertebrae, we can say, are below the vertebrae. Only the cervical C1 to C7 okay, are C7 nerves are above the vertebrae, remaining all are below the vertebrae. Okay, next, yes, so next is the cervical plexus, brachial plexus, lumbar plexus, and the sacrococcygeal plexus. Sacrococcygeal plexus. Okay, cervical plexus, brachial plexus, lumbar plexus, and sacrococcygeal plexus. So just see this diagram, all of you. Right? So the nerves which comes out, that is the rhamnus, the ventral rhamnus and the dorsal rhamnus, we said, right? The rhamnus nerves which comes out, they again combine to form a large mass of nerve that is known as plexus. Okay, that is known as plexus. So that is very important session of our spinal nerves. Okay, so what this plexus do, right? So the plexus are helpful to divide these nerves into various branches. Okay, so they divide the nerves into various branches and then they spread. Okay, they spread to the different sites to produce the functions. Okay, so that is the main thing of this plexus. That is the main function of the plexus. So next is so you can see here For the cervical plexus, as I told you, there are cervical plexus, brachial plexus, spinal cord, lumbar plexus, sacral plexus, coccygeal plexus, right? So, one second. So these C1, C2, C3, C4. Okay. So the cervical plexus, as we know, they have been divided into C1 to C7. Okay, C8. Sorry, C8. Okay, nerves. They have been divided into C1 to C8. So here C1, C2, C3, C4 fuse to form the cervical plexus. Okay, whereas brachial plexus is been formed by C5 to C8 and T1. C5 to C8 and T1. They fuse to form the brachial plexus. Thoracic region doesn't form any nerves, right? Sorry, they doesn't form any plexus. They are individually transferred to different regions. Okay, so they doesn't have any plexus. Lumbar plexus are formed by L1, L2, L3 and L4. Lumbar is been formed by L1, L2, L3 and L4. Sacral is been formed by L5, S1, S2, S3. Okay. Whereas coccygeal is been formed by S4, S5 and coccyx. That is the main things which you need to remember. Okay. So that is how the nerves fuse to form the plexus. Next, coming to the functions. So as I told you, the cervical plexus is been formed by C1 to C4, okay, with a contribution of C5. So here they have both sensory and motor functions. So they produce the sensory and motor functions to the skins and muscles of the head region, neck region and the superior parts of the shoulder and chest. That is the main function of the cervical plexus. Okay. Next is the brachial plexus. So the brachial plexus is formed by C5 to C8 and the T1. Okay. Here it is been mainly divided into 5 important nerves, that is the musculocutaneous, axillary, radial, ulnar, median nerves. Okay, these 5 nerves are important for this brachial plexus. So they give the sensory and motor nerves to skin and muscles of the shoulder and upper limbs region. Okay, shoulder and upper limbs region. Next, see this here, the shoulder and the upper limbs region, to provide these nerves to these regions. Next, the lumbar plexus. Okay, so this is formed from L1 to L4. So here the main nerve is the femoral nerve, which is the largest nerve, and the obturator nerve. Okay, obturator nerve. So these are the 2 nerves in which the femoral is the largest nerve. Okay, the lumbar plexus. So what they do, they supply skin and muscles the skin and they supply the sensory and they act as the sensory and motor nerves, and they supply to the skin and muscles of the anterior lateral abdominal wall. Anterior and lateral sides of the abdominal wall, external genitals, parts of the lower limbs. Okay. So these are the genital things and parts of the lower limbs. Okay, parts of the lower limbs, genital sections. Okay, so all those things you can see over here. Next, next is the sacral plexus. So it is been formed by L4 to L5 and S1 to S4. That is the sacral plexus. Okay, here also it has the largest nerve in this in the body is the sciatic nerve arising from the sacral plexus. Okay, so that is the main thing, the sciatic nerve. So it supplies the skin sensory and muscles motor, that is to the buttocks, the perineum and the lower limbs. Okay, the buttocks, the lower limbs, okay, and the perineum. Next is the coccygeal plexus. So it is been formed by the S4 and S5 and the coccygeal nerves. So already I told you these are small areas of the skin which are present in the coccyx region. So to that they are been essential. Okay, over here. Next, intercostal nerves. Okay, morning this I have not told you guys. So that is the intercostal is the thoracic region nerves. Intercostal is the okay, between, costal means ribs, so intercostal nerves, so which are present inside the ribs, okay, which emerge from the ribs region. So the spinal nerves T2 to T12, okay, T1 is associated with the starting one, right? So here T2 to T12, okay, they do not enter into the formation of plexus, so they doesn't form the plexus and are known as intercostal or thoracic nerves, okay. So, after leaving into its intervertebral foramen, anterior rhamnus of the nerve T2 innervates the intercostal muscles of the second intercostal space, supplies the skin of the axilla, okay, skin of the axilla and posterior-medial aspects of the arm. So, it goes to the axilla and to the posterior-medial aspects of the arm. So it reaches also to the arm region. Nerves T3 and T3 to T6 extend along with costal groove of the ribs and then to the intercostal muscles and skin of the anterior and lateral chest region. Okay, chest wall. Nerves T7 to T12 supply the intercostal muscles and abdominal muscles. Okay, intercostal muscles. To the intercostal muscles means the muscles which are associated with the ribs, and the abdomen region, abdominal muscles along with the overlying skin. So to all these things nerves are being supplied. The posterior rami and the intercostal nerves supply the deep back muscles and the skin of the posterior aspects of the thorax. So they also supply to the thorax, to the abdomen and the intercostal muscles. Okay, like this. That's it. Okay, guys, so that is the main thing, that is the origin of the spinal nerves and how the plexus are been formed, and what are the things which fuse together to form the, what are the nerves which fuse together to form the plexus, and how they produce the functions, right? In crane, what we studied, yes, cranial nerves, we have seen that there are important functions. Here all functions are almost similar, right? But their origin is very essential. Okay, the origin is very important. So you need to remember all these things. Okay, guys.